So today we are embarking into chapter 10, Haribo, and the title is The Opulence of Absolute. So quick review what we have discussed in the last couple of days. Okay. So in the chapter 1, we discussed about how Arjuna was confused, he was very weak, very morose, and he said, I will not fight in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. We all know he gave couple of reasons why I don't want to fight, right? And then in chapter 2, we could see that how Arjuna is surrendered to Krishna. And that's where, from second chapter onwards, it was Krishna who started speaking about the soul. We're not this body, we are soul. We gave the wonderful example of that cage and the bird, right? Somebody was just cleaning the cage, but forgot that the bird, that's Atma. So Krishna gave the knowledge of Atma to soul to Arjuna. And then in chapter 3, we discussed about how soul suffers to different actions. No, so that's why we should do our prescribed duty, karma yoga, right? And in chapter 4, we discuss about people doing actions, like somebody doing a lot of pious activities, punya karma. So because of that, they go to Swarga Loka. Somebody is doing sin, papa karma. Then what happens? They'll go to hellish planet. Then we discussed, we have to transcend from this. What is that? Go to akarma activities, where you keep Krishna in the center, and that's what, it's easy to go back to Godhead. Finally, we spoke about chapter 5, because chapter 5 is about how we have to be detached from the result. And we give the example of that lotus leaf, right? Not being affected by the water. And that's how, Krishna is telling that we should train our mind, because mind can be a best friend and it can also be a worst enemy. Then finally, we spoke about the chapter 6, where we can control our mind, but same time focus on God through meditation. And among all the yogis, Krishna says, Bhakti Yogi, who meditates on Krishna with love and devotion, is the greatest yogi. We discussed that. And in chapter 7, Krishna is revealing about his deeper knowledge about himself, that he's a supreme personality of Godhead. And in chapter 8, we discuss about life is a preparation, death is a final test. So by practicing Krishna consciousness bhakti, we can easily remember at the time of death. Anta kale mam eva smaran muktva kalevaram. That's a sloka. And then that's what bhakti is emergency. So in chapter 9, that was yesterday, we spoke about the ultimate goal of a spiritual path, that one of the easiest and most direct path to him. So Krishna says, just think of me, become my devotee, worship me, offer your homage to me, and thus you will come to me without fail. So we could see that the 9th chapter assures that God's love is unconditional. And today we are embarking into chapter 10, that is the opulence of absolute. So in chapter 10, we will discuss 4 parts as you see on the screen. One is everything comes from Krishna. Everything comes from Krishna. Essence of Bhagavad Gita, the greatest, and Krishna is everything. These are the 4 major topics we'll discuss today in chapter 10. So please pay attention, take a lot of notes, because we're in 10th chapter. So then we will be going to 11th chapter, 12th chapter. So one by one, okay? Okay. Now, just give me one moment. Yes. Now, right? Okay. Now, so we could see that in chapter 10, Krishna is source of all. From verse 1 to verse 7, we're going to speak about this. Now, in 10th chapter, we totally have 42 verses. All right. So today we're going to discuss one by one. Okay. Now, here Krishna is saying, this is the first sloka of the 10th chapter. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Puya eva mahabhavo Srinnu me paramam vachaha etadaham priyatmanaya vakshayami kamyamaya. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, listen again, O mighty armed Arjuna. Because you are my dear friend, for your benefit, I shall speak to you further. Giving knowledge that is better than what I have already explained. So here, Lord Krishna is telling to Arjuna, my dear Arjuna, because you are my very close friend, I'm going to share even the more deeper level of knowledge, something richer than what I have already explained. So what is saying? Listen carefully. So we could see that by the end of chapter 9, Krishna actually felt that the whole Bhagavad Gita is complete, but Krishna actually had already explained this, the greatness of Bhakti Yoga, the secret of our spiritual life, everything about action and devotion, right? But now in this chapter, that is opulence of, in this chapter, Krishna, what is saying is, I am your dear friend. I want to benefit you. So now I'll explain even deeper knowledge than before. Wow. Saying, please listen. You see this? Shrunu me paramam vacha. So what is saying that you have to listen. Please listen again, Arjuna, because I am your dear friend. I want to benefit you. Krishna is saying to Arjuna, actually, I'm going to explain you something more deeper knowledge than before. So even though Krishna already spoke a lot, right? Now he's giving a summary, but in a deeper and more powerful way, he wants Arjuna and us, like you and me, us, to listen carefully with full attention. So I also beg all of you to please listen carefully with full attention so that we can take the best out of this in this chapter. Okay. Now, so in the sloka 2 of the 10th chapter, it says, Name vidu suraganaha prabhavan maharshraya ham adidhi devanam maharshinam cha sarveshaha. Neither the host of demigods nor the great sages know my origin or opulence. For in every respect, I am the source of demigods and sages. So yesterday discussed how even Lord Brahma, he couldn't understand Krishna's greatness, right? That's why one of the name of Krishna is Akilanda Koti Brahmanda Nayaka, right? We told, right? So even Brahma, he was confused, he made a mistake. That past time we discussed, right? The Brahma Vimoha Leela, where he tried to, steal all the calves and the coward boys, kept it in his abode for 1 year, right? Of course, one moment of Brahma is like 1 year in the earth, right? Then again he came back. Then he saw everybody are playing. Then he came to know that this boy is not a boy. He is Krishna. That's what he said. Is a what do you say, unimaginable God, right? So finally, Brahma understood that I made a big mistake by testing the Supreme Lord. Not only that, his ego was broken. Why? Because actually, God expanded himself into all those Vishnu forms. Not only that, he called Brahmas from different universes, right? Somebody with 10 head, 100 head, 1,000, 10,000, like that. And they all came and just go down to Krishna. So that makes very clear that Brahma understood that I'm just a tiny creature and he is the real owner, proprietor, enjoyer, right? Then similarly, we could see in the case of Indra also. Indra is a king of Devatas, right? Also, he didn't know Krishna's true opulence. So we know that even he became very proud and he offended Krishna. So we have that wonderful pastime of, Krishna lifting the Govardhan, Giridhari. One of the name of Krishna is Giridhari because he lifted the Govardhan for 7 days and 7 nights. So to teach him a lesson, Krishna lifted a Govardhan hill and he protected the people of Vrindavan. So by doing this, Krishna crushed the pride of Indra. So just now it happened to Brahma, now it's happening to Indra. And this shows that even great demigods, great devatas like Brahma, Indra, even sages, they cannot understand Krishna. Then who are we then? Because Krishna is supreme and beyond all of them. Then how do we can understand Krishna? So one of the easiest way to understand Krishna is by doing Bhakti Yoga. That's why I was telling you in the last chapter, I gave one punchline. What is that? This bhakti yoga is an emergency. So when we practice bhakti yoga without having any attachment or any kind of a selfish motive, it is very easy to serve Krishna. And Krishna says, Man manava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskar. If you do it in a proper way, by remembering me, by giving you homage, by giving respect, then I will give myself to you. That's what, he said to Uddhava, right? So now, look at the screen, in this verse, of course, this is a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, not from Bhagavad Gita. So here, it says, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, Aham Bhakto Paradhino, Hi Aswantara Yid Vija, Sadbudhir Grasta Hridayo, Bhaktir Bhakta Jana Priya. So it says, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said to the Brahmana, I am completely under the control of my devotees. Indeed, I am not all independent because my devotees are completely devoid of material desire. Very important. My devotees are completely devoid of material desire. They don't have any material desires. I sit only within the core of their hearts. What to speak of my devotees? Even those who are devotees of my devotees are very dear to me. So what does we understand from here? If you just recall the pastime of Durvasa Muni, right? Durvasa Muni was chased by the Sudarshan Chakra, because he offended one of the very great devotee of the Lord, Ambarish, right? He offended Ambarish and he wandered all the way because for 1 year, this Krishna was chasing behind this Durvasa because he offended Ambarish, Ambarish Maharaj. So this Sudarshan Chakra was so powerful. It's like you can feel the heat of that, and that's why we could see for 1 year, he was like traveling everywhere. Who? Durvasa Muni, just to get rid of this Darshan Chakra. He went all the way to Brahmaloka, Shiva Loka for escape from that. But still, because he broke the etiquettes, yet, what happened? When he went to Lord Vishnu, he said, please protect me, I'm afraid of this Darshan. What did Lord say? No, go ask my devotee. Only he can give the answer. Because even Lord said, even I am also, empty-handed. Even I cannot do anything, because my devotees' words are more powerful than myself. That is what we could see, how now Lord is reciprocating. So Krishna justified the devotees' honor, respect, showing once again that he cares first for his devotees, then alone for his own glory. You remember yesterday I was telling you about Arjun, Bhishmadev, because we could see Krishna says, my devotees will never perish, right? So, Krishna promised that I will not take the weapon in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. And what happened? He broke the wall. He took that wheel of chariot. He was just chasing, on Bhishmadev. Then what happened? Arjuna just got hold of the leg of Krishna. He said, you told you will not, go do adharma. So please don't, kill Bhishmadev. So then Krishna stopped it. So because Krishna can do anything, just to save his devotees. Look at the screen. It says, Yo mam ajam anadimcha vitti loka maheshwaram samgurasa matyeshu sarva papi pramuchate. He who knows me as the unborn, as the beginningless, as the supreme Lord of all the worlds, he only undiluted among men is freed from all sins. So one who understands this truth about Krishna without confusion, he becomes free from all sins. That's why it's very important to understand that Krishna is the supreme Lord. No? If you see Brahma Samhita, it says, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. Then just Govinda Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So he is the one who creates everything in this world. Right? So that's what we're trying to present here. He is the source of everything. Now, it says, to free ourselves from sin and confusion, we must understand Lord Krishna as the supreme God as per Bhagavad Gita. Why does this mean? Because only by understanding Krishna's supreme position as the original source of creation, maintenance, and worship, then it's easy for us to understand. And then we can truly become free ourselves from ignorance and sin. That's why he's telling one thing again and again. What is that? Listen with fresh ears. We have to listen carefully. That's why yesterday we discussed about Krishna's first expansion was Balaram, right? And for Balaram becomes three Vishnus. Of course, from Balaram we have Chaturvyuha, that is Sankarsana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, and Sankarsana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, and Vasudev, right? So from Sankarsana, who comes? Three Vishnus. Remember the three Vishnus? Remember? First one was the Karamdaya Vishnu who was sleeping like this, and there's no navel on his stomach, no Brahma, but lot of bubbles. They're coming from his breath, right? Then we spoke about Garbhadayaksha Vishnu, from that countless bubbles, in every bubble we would see that Lord is sleeping, and from there is a navel coming up, and there is a Brahma, and there's Lakshmi Devi, Mataji Krishna, right? So that is what Garbhadayaksha Vishnu, where he enters. And then the last one we discussed about, how that is Shirodaya Vishnu. What does he do? He takes different avatars, right? So we saw that slide now where you have Krishna, and because Krishna is the original source, right? From him comes different avatars, right? We have Rama avatar, we have Balram avatar. So of course, Balram is the first expansion, So Rama, Balaram, Buddha, Kalki, all these things, right? So that's why he is called as a, Akhilanda Koti Brahmanda Nayak, right? So that's why now is, if you listen, that's why in the first verse we said Shushunam. Shushunam means you have to listen attentively. That's what Krishna is reminding Arjuna, that please hear attentively. Okay, that's what we're going to discuss now. So today, we will be talking about the essence of Bhagavad Gita. Now that we are in the second part of chapter 10, this is very important because from verse 10.8 to 10.11, Krishna is giving the essence of Bhagavad Gita, and this is also called as Bhagavad Gita Chapter. What it is called? Bhagavad Gita Chapter. So in whole Bhagavad Gita, if you ask what are the most important four verses, just called Gita Chapter. That is from 10.8, 9, 10, 11. 4 slokas. Okay. So we'll also try to recite this, maybe 1 or 2 times, all the slokas, because that is the most essential, because the essence of Bhagavad Gita. Okay. Now, this is 10.8. Okay. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. Once again, I'll repeat. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. So, it says, I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly knows this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. So, this is the first verse of Chatur. What is that? Aham sarvasya prabhavo. 10.8. Just make a note of this. 10.8. Aham sarvasya prabhavo. Matta sarvam pravartate. Iti matta bhajante mam. Buddha bhava samanvitaha. So Krishna is telling that I am the source of everything. Everything comes from me, both spiritual and material for us. So what does it mean? Just like, see, when we have any big trouble, let's say we have no job, no money, and someone is trying to help you, we become very grateful. We say, thank you so much, right? But what about Lord Krishna? He is giving everything for us, See, he is giving air to breathe, is giving food to eat, is giving water to drink, the body, mind, intelligence, but still we don't even think of thanking him. Why? Because we forget he is the one giving. But once we understand this truth, that Krishna is supplying, is giving everything, then naturally we will want to serve him. No one needs to force us, right? So once we know that he is the source, he is giving everything, then we understand. Okay, now look at this. This image, what you see, is a Karanaya Vishnu. Why? Because, see, from his breath, there are so many bubbles that come. You see that? And each bubble, you will see Brahmanda also. where you'll see Brahmaji also, the navel. Okay. Okay, this is the first sloka. Okay, so I'm sure this is clear. Now, Krishna also says, one who knows this truth, he becomes very wise and worships me with all his heart. Amazing, right? I'll give you an example. Let's say, if you're walking on the street, you won't ask some stranger, can you give me a pocket money? No, you will go to your father because you know your father is a provider, and you also have that relation. So same way, once you understand that Krishna is my original father, the source of all, then we naturally turn towards him for everything with love and trust. Okay. So now, before I go to the next sloka, I have one question for you all. See, according to this Bhagavad Gita, Chatur sloka, the first sloka, 10.8, Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante ma buddha bhava samuntaha. So in this first sloka, I have a question. Why does a wise person worships Krishna with all their hearts? Krishna is source of everything. Yes, exactly right. Right now we are heading towards the second sloka, Chatur sloka, right? Matchit matagata prana bodayanta parasparam katayantascha mam nityam tushanticha ramanticha. Matchit matagata prana bodayantascha parasparam katayantascha mam nityam tushanticha ramanticha. The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me. So, a very wonderful shloka. Okay, Matchit Matagata Prana Podayanta Parasparam Katayantascha Mam Nityam Tushyanticha Ramanticha. So, let me give you a small an example, like kind of a story. They are like two devotees, sitting outside, and they were talking about Krishna. Two devotees sitting in the outside the temple. They're talking, or they're chatting, whatever you can say. So one says, no, you know what? Actually, uh, Lord Krishna likes Brahma more than Indra. Others says, no, 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 no. Actually, Krishna likes Indra more than Brahma. Now they start, getting into a conversation. The first devotee says, Are Brahma, he only tested Krishna by stealing the calves and covered boys. But Krishna remained very cool. He showed her his divine opulence. But Indra, you see, he sent a dangerous storm and he disturbed all the Vrajavasis. So I think Krishna doesn't like Indra. Now the other said, no, 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 no. Actually, Brahma separated Krishna from his friends, right? Because he stole he took away all the friends, right? So I think Brahma is the biggest offender. So he is the biggest offender. So he may not, so Krishna doesn't like Brahma. But now what happened? But both of us are like having conversation. But Indra's Govardhan Leela, actually what happened? It brought everyone together under one roof. And Krishna, with all his gopis, gopas, cows, everyone for 7 days. So that's so special. That means they come into an argument now saying that it is only Indra is best, not Brahma. Now what's happening? They're just talking each other. So the argument keeps on going. But see how sweet it is, because they're not gossiping, they're not complaining, they're just lovingly discussing Krishna's pastimes. So this is what is called Bodhayanta Parasparam, trying to enlighten each other about Krishna. Now I'll give you a very nice pastime about Govardhan Leela. It's a little bit of funny pastime, but it's good to know. See, when Krishna lifted Govardhan hill, it wasn't just about punishing Indra. It was Krishna's plan to give a continuous, darshan to all his devotees. That's why you see the Gopas were always sad, because when the evening times comes, Krishna has to leave. Same thing, even the gopis were always sad, because when the morning come, Krishna will go out the covered paths to herd the cows. So Krishna thought, ek maar mein do tukda. So Krishna thought, let me do something where I can fulfill both the desires, both gopas and gopis. So he lifted the hill and held it for 7 days, 7 nights. Now what happened? Everyone stayed with him, right? No morning, no evening separation. They all stood and they were like taking darshan of Lord. So even during the time, you see, sometimes gopis, they joke about Brahma. Why? Because see, this Brahma, He doesn't know how to make a proper world. Why? Look at our eyes. No? It keeps on blinking like this. No, so our eyelids keeps on closing. Because of that, now we cannot take darshan of Krishna because now and then it goes off. So look how smart Indra is. He brought all together with Krishna. Now Krishna is like his heart is getting revealed. Because while holding Govardhana, everyone is watching Krishna, but Krishna is secretly watching who? Yes, I guess he's watching Radha Rani, Srimati Radha Rani, saying, no, Krishna gets little emotional. And now what happens? Because he's looking for Radha Rani everywhere. No? Now he's holding the Govardhan in one hand. The Govardhan starts shaking. Suddenly, no, his brother, who's his brother? Balaram. Yeah, Balaram says, Bhaya, brother, why the hill is shaking? So says, nothing, nothing. Maybe, maybe due to the flow of wind. Balaram says, no, you're scared of what? The whole universe fears you. Indra, Chandra, Varun, even death. But now you're shaking like this. Krishna tried to say in a very cool way, nothing like that, The whole night, everybody were taking darshan of Krishna while he was holding the Govardhan. Now, but Krishna is looking, where is Radha? Where is Radha? The whole night he was thinking about Radha, Radha, Radha. But he was saying Radha, 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 he was saying. Then what happened? There's the one kind of funny moment. Next day, Krishna goes to, because now 7 days got over. So next day, Krishna goes to milk the cow. But he lost his thought because he was so absorbed. He ends up trying to milk not the cow, a bull. Because all the gopas started laughing. They said, Krishna, this is not cow, this is a bull, Oh, really? I didn't even notice. So we could see that all these pastimes are so sweet, loving pastimes, and devotees talk about this. But here, there is no complaint, there is no gossip. It's all about a matchit madagata prana. There is a kind of a exchange of love. That's why I would say this sloka is amazing, beautiful sloka. You have to memorize this, no? So what does it say? It says matchit. Matchit means what? The minds are always in me. Matchit madagata prana. Their life is fully connected to me. And then it says bodhayanta paraspara. They discuss me with each other. Right? So then it says katayantascha Mam Nityam. What does it mean? They talk about me every day, daily. And it says Tusanchicha Ramanticha. That means they feel great joy and spiritual bliss. So what I mean to say here that so when we sit with the other devotees, we should share all kinds of Krishna kathas. What is happening? That is a pure spiritual activity. Or else, we get bored, we get stressed, but you get a lot of joy, you laugh, because it's love for Krishna. What we do, we talk about the movies, all this all just prajalpa, it's all a fantasy. But what is real joy, real exchanges when you talk about the God? That's what we can see here. The Gopas and Gopis, they're talking about Krishna's wonderful pastimes and they're feeling so blissful, That's what I'm trying to say. It says in a bodhayanta paraspara. All right. So now I have a question for all of you. What were the two devotees outside the temple joyfully discussing? They're very, very blissful when they're discussing. Yeah, who Krishna loves more, Indra or Brahma? Okay. Yeah, exactly. That is what I want to say. Yes. We spoke about one. Chaturshloki. First sloka was what? Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate iti mattu bhajante mam bhava samamitaha. Second sloka is, Matchit Pudagda Prana, Bodhayanta Paraspara, Katayanta Chamam Nityam Tushanticha Ramanticha. Now we're heading towards the third sloka. What is it? Tesham Sutta Yuktana, Bhajantam Kriti Purvakam, Tudhadi Buddhi Yogam Tam, Yenamam Upayantite, Tesham Sutta Yuktana, Bhajatam Kriti Purvakam. Tudhadi Buddhi Yogam Tam, Yenamam Upayantite. What does it mean? It says, to those who are constantly devoted and serving me with love, I give understanding by which they can come to me. So we spoke about 3 shlokas, right? This is the third sloka of the Bhagavad Gita, the essence of Bhagavad Gita. It's called Chaturshloki. So Krishna says, if you are serious, sincere, and regularly, you're devoted to me, I myself will help you understanding me, and you can come to me. You don't need to worry. I will guide you from within. Why it says from within? Because Krishna is in everybody's heart, Paramatma. Remember we told about three Vishnus. One was Karanodaya Vishnu, one was the Garbhodaksha Vishnu, one was Shirodaya Vishnu. Shirodaya Vishnu is who is he? He's like a Paramatma in every sitting in every living entity, right? And also I told how it takes different avatars. So here it says, I'll guide you from within. That means Lord is in everybody's heart, all right? But this required what? Commitment. Now, what kind of commitment? That we all should take a commitment, because we all should prepare daily for exam. Not that when exams comes, then I'll prepare. No, everyday practice is very good. So we need to practice this bhakti daily. So I've been telling you that four things I keep telling you. What is that? If you have a tulsi plant, to aarti for that, and whatever you eat, you offer to Krishna first, Patram Pushpam Palam Toyam. It becomes prasadam, right? And then I was telling you that chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra every day. So my humble request is that we are come to 10th chapter. We should all take some kind of a commitment that at least, kind of a small oath that Prabhuji, from today onwards, I'll chant, 1 round, 2 rounds, or 4 rounds every day. And finally, I spoke about you should also do Ekadashi, because Ekadashi is like a Madhavati Bhakti Janani. So Ekadashi is very close to, very dear to Krishna. That's why this Bhagavad Gita is just not a book of information. It's a book of transformation. And that is where we are here to get the transformation from Bhagavad Gita as it is. Because this is a bridge where Arjuna was completely confused and he got clarity. Why? Because he was surrendering to Krishna. And Krishna was explaining, that I'm not this body, I'm the soul. And then a couple of days back, we spoke about 2 ways of gaining knowledge. Now, one is Aroha Panta, Avaroha Panta. In Aroha Panta, you have 2 processes, but they are not perfect. What were there? One is Pratyaksha Pramana, one was Anumana Pravana. And bona fide is that Avaroha Panta, that is a Shabda Pramana. Right? So, but even knowing all these things, if you don't even make a small effort daily, then Krishna will not interfere. Now, I told you something called free will, he will not interfere, but he waits you to be very serious. All right. So that's why, so let us all take a small step, like chanting the Hare Krishna every day, remembering the Lord, doing some kind of seva, and Krishna will take big steps to bring us back to him. It is possible. I'll just do a quick recap. What are the 3 slokas? The first sloka was Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samantaha. First sloka of the Chatur Sloki. Second is Matchit Buddhagata Prana Bodayanta Parasparam Katayanta Samam Nityam Tushanticha Ramanticha. Second sloka. Third sloka Desham Sudatam Yuktanam Vajantam Priti Purvakam Tadhadim Buddhi Yogam Tam Yena Mam Upayantithe. And the final sloka, what we're going to discuss today is Desham Ivanukampartam Aham Ajnana Jamtamaha Nasayami Atma Bhavastu Nanadipena Bhashvataha. It says, to show them special mercy, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. So here, Lord is telling in this verse that if someone serves me with love regularly, then I will come and sit in their heart and remove all the darkness. And I said darkness, it can be so many things. Somebody is having lust, anger, greed, matsya, all this. Everything will go away. All kind of miseries will go away. And he says, I'll give you a light and knowledge. Remember, I told him a couple of days back that Krishna Surya Saman Maya Andhakar. So wherever there is light, there is no darkness. So this is actually the essence of Bhagavad Gita. That's why 3 things to understand in this. What is that? One is called Sambandha, one is called Abhidaya, one is called Prayojana. Sambandha, Abhidaya, Prayojana. So I'll make a quick review what we discussed now, the last 4 slokas. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta swaram pravartate iti matta bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. This was 1 sloka we discussed. Then we discussed about Matchit Madagata Prana Bodayanta Parasparam Katayanta Samam Nityam Dushanticha Ramanticha. Okay, we spoke about Tesham Chadayuktanam, Padantam Priti Purvakam, Dadhati Buddhi Yogam Tam Enamam Payanti. And finally, we discussed about the fourth sloka, which is Bhagavad Gita's Chatur Sloki. Tesham even Kampartam Aham Agnana Jam Tamaha Nashayami Atma Bhavastu Gnana Dipena Bhastaha. So we spoke about three things. Samanda, Abhidaya, Praja. If you remember, every time when I begin the class, I stand in prayer. What is that? Om Ajnana Timeran Dasya Gnana Janakshalakaya Chakshur Anmilitam Ena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. What does it mean? It means no, through remove the darkness and you give me the light. Right? That's what it means to say. So what are these three things that we are learning today? One is Sambandha, Abhidaya, and Prayojan. Very important. If you want, you can also make a note of this. Okay. Sambandha. Sambandha, it's in the screen, it says 3 steps to improvement. Sambandha, that's wisdom. Abhidaya, instruction. And benefit is goal. That is a Prayojan. So my question for you is, Sambandha. When it comes to Sambandha, that means we are trying to connect, build a relation with Lord. Because Krishna is our father and we are his children. Mamai Vamsam Jivaloke, Jivaputa Sanatana, Manasastandriyan. We are all part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. So he is Paramatma and we are just Atma. So there is a connection, right? So we have to build a connection towards Krishna. That is called Sambandha, relation, right? That's the first point. Second thing is Sambandha Abhidaya. Abhidaya means it's a progress. First step was, it was a connection, relation. Second thing is it's a progress. How to reach Krishna? How can I go to that stage? For that, what we should do? You should chant the Lord's holy name. You have to hear attentively, right? And you should serve regularly. So when it comes to chanting, there are 4 things I want to say. What are the? You should always chant with the absorption. Chant with absorption, and we have to hear. Chant with absorption. Chant with absorption. Hear with attentiveness. Chant with absorption. Hear with attentiveness, and then you have to deal, with the affection. And so chant with the 4 things: chant, hear, deal, and serve. So when you chant with absorption. When you hear with attentiveness. Don't go here and there. Okay, and then deal with the affection and serve with the devotion. Okay, because it's very important to know. Chant with the absorption. Okay, not absorption. Chant with attention. Okay, chant with attention. Hear with absorption. Chant with attention. Hear with absorption. Then serve with the affection, and so deal with affection, and then serve with the devotion. These 4 things. So Sambandha is what? We're trying to connect, relation, right? And Abhidaya is what? It's a progress. We want to reach to Krishna. So for that we have to do chanting the Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. And I said about chanting, there are four things are there. What is that? We should chant with the attention. We should hear with the absorption. We should deal with the affection, and we should serve with the devotion. There we go. Okay. Then finally we have what? Prayojana. Means what is our goal? Lakshya kya hona chahiye? Our goal. Goal is that that we have to reach Krishna. If we do this, Krishna gives us himself with love and with love. That's why I told Uddhava said, to Krishna said to Uddhava, somebody wants to serve them, I cannot do anything much. What I'll do, I'll give myself to them. That's what Krishna said to Uddhava. All right. So you should know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You chant regularly every day, and then he will guide you and give you everything. Yoga Kshema Vahamyam. Today we spoke about that Arjunacharya, the Orissa devotee. He was a devotee who used to read Gita every day. But then what happened? His wife, had no faith in that word, Yoga Kshema Vahamyam. Then Lord themselves came, and they gave all the groceries. And then the Lord's tongue was oozing with blood. Then they came to know that they were Balram and Krishna and Balram. That's right. Whatever Krishna promises is called infallible. Infallible means who doesn't go wrong. So that's what the greatness of a Krishna. All right. Here we could see only one who constantly engages in devotional service is given superior knowledge by the Lord. And the greatest, right? From this sloka onwards, we'll see how Krishna is now glorifying Krishna. Sorry, Arjuna is glorifying Krishna. All right. So this is a very beautiful verse. This is from verse 12 to 13. It says, Arjuna Uvacha, Param Brahma Param Dhama Pavitram Paramam Bhava Purusham Sashvatam Divyam Adi Devam Ajam Vibhuhu Ahustvam Rashyo Sarve Devashir Narada Sudha Asato Devala Vyasa Swayam Chaiva Bhavishyami. What is Arjuna saying here? Arjuna is saying, you are the supreme personality of Godhead, the ultimate abode, the purest, the absolute truth. You are the eternal, transcendental, original person, the unborn, the greatest. All the great sages, such as Narada, Asita, Devala, and Vyasa, confirm this truth about you, and now you yourself are declaring it to me. So someone might say, Arjuna is Krishna's friend, that's why he praises him. But not only Arjuna, even great sages like Narada, Asita, Devala, and Vyasa, they have confirmed that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. I'll tell you a nice story. Maybe you would like it, See, in Bhagavad Gita, there's one part of Mahabharata, which was spoken by Vyasa, and it was written by Lord Ganesha. But Ganesha had two conditions before writing Mahabharata. What was that? He said, Vyasa should not stop in between, and Ganesha will write only what he understands. So Vasudev, yeah. So Vyasa would say deep meanings to give himself a thinking time, and Ganesha would carefully write. So now in the Gita, we all heard this. Krishna says, I am the source of everything, everything comes from me. Now at that moment, when Ganesha was writing, if you have stopped now, if you have paused, because you should say, wait, my father is there, my mother is there, my mother Parvati is there. Now how can you say Krishna is source of all? No. Ganesha did not stop it. Ganesha, what he did, he accepted whatever Vyasa was saying. That means it's an indication that even Ganesha also accepts that Krishna is the supreme. That's why Arjuna says that you are the supreme Brahman, the supreme abode, the purest, the eternal, and the divine person. So there should be no doubt that Krishna is source of everything. He is the supreme. Understanding this is the real spiritual life. Now let's say somebody asking you a question. The question is, who finally accepted Krishna as a supreme God after so many deep thoughts? So this question somebody asked you, what should be your answer? Okay, I'll pose the question for you. Just give me one moment. Yeah, I just launched this question. It's on the screen. Yeah. Who finally accepted Krishna as a supreme father? Oh, yes, there we go. That is Lord Ganesha. Okay. Yes, it is Lord Ganesha. Yes. Ganapati Pappa Moria. That is correct. Yes. Thank you. Okay, I'll share the result. Yes, that is Lord Ganesha. Thank you so much. I see when you give answers, I see till now you all just hit the right answer. Very amazing. Now look at the sloka 10.18. It says, Vistaranya mano yogam vibhutim cha janardana guya kataya tritirthi srimanto nasti me mrutam. So what does it say? It says Arjuna is very eager to hear about you. Tell me more, Krishna. So here, good Shravanam is a sign of advancement in bhakti. Shravanam means hearing. See, if you see, there are Navamida Bhakti. All right, Navamida Bhakti, there are like, for example, Shravanam, somebody who heard nicely, example, we have Parikshit Maharaj. He went back to Godhead. Then there's somebody who chanted the Lord's name, that was Sukadev Goswami. Then we have somebody who did a lot of, remembrance. Who was that? Yes, it was Prahlad Maharaj, Vishnu Smaranam. Then we have Lakshmi Devi, she's doing Pada Seva. Then we have somebody who worshipped nicely, that is Prithu Maharaj, Archanam. And somebody who nicely prayed for Krishna was Akrura. And then we have Dasyam, because the great devotee of Ram, Hanuman, right? Hanuman, yes. And then we have very good friend, Sakyam is Arjuna. Then we have Atmanivedan, Balli Maharaj. That's what Pravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Tasim Sakim Atmanivadhanam. So we have examples for everybody. So here it talks about the Shravanam. Shravanam means hearing. So if you and me also have a lot of attention in hearing this, it will give you a very easy transformation. All right. So someone who did all the 9 in Navada Bhakti, that is Amrish Maharaj. You remember recently we spoke about Durvasa Muni, he had interfered Amrish Maharaj Ekadashi day, then that's how, Lord left Sudarshan Chakra for 1 whole year. Yes, exactly right. Thank you. Okay, so what do we learn from this sloka? That we have to pay attention. We have to listen again and again. That's what it says. Krishna comes through ears and Maya enters through eyes. So if you want Krishna to enter through your ears, then our ears should be like a Yagna Kunda, so that we can do a lot of Shravana. That is very important. Okay. Okay, I'll make it a little fast because we're just going time. So why does Arjuna ask these questions? Just for all of us, thus everyone can hear Krishna's glories, and for devotees to taste the nectar and to immerse yourself in Krishna's consciousness. That's what Krishna is saying, to hear more, it's easy to remember at the time of death. And you can see here, let us follow the guidance of Narada, Vyasa, and the supreme acharyas to understand Lord Krishna. So here even Narada Muni also is telling to his student, whose student Vasudev, that that we have to accept whatever we've been told. Because we just heard some time back, that even great sages like Asita, Devala, they all accepted, even great sages. So we have to also accept that. That's what Vasudev is trying to understand, make him understand who Narada Muni to Vasudev. Right. Now, there are a lot of slokas here. I don't want to take much time because I can just read for them. So I'll just read one sloka of this. You can take a snapshot of this. It's from Bhagavad Gita only. I'll read the 10.25 Bhagavad Gita. Among the great rishis, I am Bhrigu. In sound, I am the divine Omkar. Among sacrifice, I chant the name. I am the Himalayas among immovable. So here it says that what is Krishna saying here? It says Krishna is showing how he is present in the best of everything. Because I told in the beginning of the chapter, this chapter is all about Krishna is everything, everywhere. So among different categories is also mentioned that. For example, you say among great sages, rishis, he says, I am Bhrigu. Because Bhrigu is very powerful and very wise sage, known for testing the Trinity. Remember the Tirupati pastime, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, So he represents that wisdom, spiritual strength, right? When it comes to sound, it says, I am Om, Omkara, it says, the sacred sound, the Vedic mantras, right? So Krishna presence is all vibrations, right? Then it comes to sacrifice, it says, I am Japa, chanting the holy name, which we always telling you from the day beginning. You know what's that? Chant the Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Because it doesn't require any fire, money, or rituals. Just sincerely have devotion and chant the name, because that is a powerful yagna for the age of Kali Yuga. Then he says, among immovable things, I am the Himalayas. Himalayas are very huge, unshakable, and sacred, just like Krishna's majesty and stability. So, how we can all relate in our life all these things? Very simple. When you want wisdom, you can think about Krishna as a Prabhu. When you want peace, meditate or chant the Om sound. All right, because that's Krishna's name only. When you want to serve, you can serve by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, because that's the best sacrifice. And you want a lot of strength, then you should remember Krishna is like a mighty Himalayas. That's what I want to say here. So then, of course, before we chant this Mahamantra, we should chant this. It's called Panchatattva Mahamantra. What is that? Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So if you see, Krishna is also known as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but it's not incarnation. So here, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in the middle, like an umpire raising his hands. So who is he? He is Krishna himself. And towards left side, he's called Nityananda. That is Balaram. Krishna's first expansion, I told you, right? Balaram, right? And then to the extreme left with the beards is called Advaita. Who's Advaita? Is a combination of Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu. Then extreme right side, that's up towards Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is a Gadadhar, that is a Srimati Radharani. And towards the last person who's folding his hands, is called Nardamani, who always keeps saying Narayana, Narayana. Right? So that's what I want to say. So who is Lord? Okay, now I'll ask you quick quiz. Who is Lord Nityananda in Panchatattva? If I ask this question, what will be your answer? Okay, I'll pull the question for you. Just give me one moment. It's just on the way. Yes. Yeah. Who is Lord Nityananda in Panchatattva? Yes, it is not Brahma. It is Balaram. Yeah, exactly. It's Balaram. Not Narayana. Of course, it is Balaram. Okay. Okay, good. Now, finally, we also have many such verses, talks about I am in this, I am in that, So I am the royal tree of all trees among the Devata Rishis. I am the Narada among the Gandharvas. I am the, so it says, so there are many things. Among the weapon, I am the Vajrayula. Among the Nagas, I am the Ananta, So among the Treta Yuga, I am the, so you can just make a note of this. All the slokas talks about I am this, I am this, I am that. Krishna is everything. All right. And finally, there's another verse like this. So all these verses talks about I am that, I am this. Krishna himself declaring, I am myself, I am the death of the destroyer. All things, I am the producer of all arises. I am woman, fame, fortune. So if you just go through this, you'll have a very clear understanding. Yeah, you can take a screenshot of this, all these verses. Okay. So let us understand that everything that is flourish we're singing is Shakti of Lord Krishna only. Okay. And finally, we wanted to share. This is one of the last slide of today's session. It says, Athava Pahonetana Kim Gnatena Tavarjuna Sabhyapun Idam Ashtam Ekamshina Sudok Jagat. But what need is there, Arjuna, for all this detailed knowledge? With a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support the entire universe. So Krishna is saying to Arjuna, I've told you so many ways I exist in this world. Like I am the sun, I am the moon, I am the Himalayas, I am the Omkara. But actually, there is no need to know all these things in detail. Just know one thing. Just with a small part of me, I support and maintain the entire universe. Example, just like a sun ray. Just one sun ray can light up the room, but the full sun is far greater. Similarly, Krishna says, just a small part of me is enough to run the whole universe. Just like you see the phone CPU, right? You don't see how the processor works. Just with a small chip, it controls everything on the screen. Krishna's energy is like that, quietly powerful and all pervading. Like you see the drop from the ocean. Even a drop of ocean water, it contains a taste and essence of the whole ocean. So Krishna's energy spreads just like that. A little of him creates and supports everything. So what I'm trying to make you understand in sloka is that that Krishna is all powerful. The whole universe is just like a small display of his energy, and he wants Arjuna and us to realize that God is not limited. He's so great that even a tiny part of him can hold everything together. So my last question of the day is that what does Krishna say support this entire universe? A small part of himself. That's the answer. Okay. Now, quickly we'll do a small revision. Okay, before that, this is my last slide. Everything good in me is a reflection of Krishna. So today we only heard a audio release. But tomorrow there'll be a video release. What Prabhu is saying video release? That means tomorrow we're going to discuss about the Vishwarupa, Vishwarupa. Today I'm just saying I'm everywhere. But tomorrow there's going to be a video release, So Krishna begins to explain his divine opulence or vibhutis, He gives example among mountain, I am the Meru, among rivers, I am Ganga, among weapons, I am the thunderbolt. So Krishna is the ultimate source, maintainer and destroyer. So we need not know everything, just understand Krishna is behind all wonders, So today we'll have a quick summary of what we discussed in the chapter 10. Everything comes from Krishna, essence of Bhagavad Gita, the greatest Krishna is everything. So remember at least these 4 Chatur slokas, 10.8, 9, 10 and 11. These are the Chatur slokas. So in this chapter 10, Krishna reveals his divine glories and opulence to Arjuna. He explains that everything, everything that you see manifesting, beautiful, powerful in this world, just like a spark of my splendor, So if you recognize this manifestation, one can easily remember and connect with him. We spoke about the three things, what Sambandha, Avidya, Prajna also. And also Krishna also declares that he is the source of all creation, intelligence. So this chapter deepens Arjuna's devotion and helps him to see Krishna not just as a friend, but the supreme personality of Godhead. So I thought of sharing one small story. It's like lack of time, but I'll try. Give me just 1 minute. There's a very intelligent story. So there was one woodcutter. Who was working for so many years, but when and he was being just paid 10,000. But when he got a new woodcutter, he was paying double the salary. So I thought, I'm working from past 10 years, I'm just paid 10,000, and you just came just one day and you're younger to me and you're getting double the salary. So the existing woodcutter worked very hard, but still, the new woodcutter, who does the cutting of like a carpenter job, whatever, he was paid double. So once the woodcutter asked the new woodcutter, see, what is so special in you? And I also work like that, work like you, hard work. So you work very less time, but you're paid more money. Why is that? Then the new woodcutter said, see, very simple. I know I just only work for 30 minutes, but I get double the result. Why? Because in the 30 minutes now, I take my, axe, and I sharp my axe. Because of that, now it becomes very strong, and it gives me more production in a very less time. So what we learn from this kind of a story here, our only solution is that we have to sharpen our mind through sadhu sangha, chanting the holy name, very good Sravanam, because Krishna is telling to Arjuna again and again, you have to hear attentively. So when we have this kind of things, then it's very, very easy for us to imbibe Krishna consciousness, bhakti in our life very easily. All right.